Hey guys, welcome back to She Became Me podcast, where we unlock pain, passion, and power. Welcome to our 26th episode. Welcome to our 26th episode, but our first show for January 2021. So, during the year of 2021, we're going to focus on living well. So, for the month of January, we're going to focus on healthy eating habits. And we're going to have a guest today. We'll be cooking with Melba. And Melba will be introducing us to some new healthy eating habits. So, let you guys to my co-host, Ronieka Howell.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. So good to see you. I cannot wait to see what 2021 will bring us. Welcome.
Hey, and Yalonda J. Brown.
Good evening. Hi. Happy 2021, ladies. Can I just
Hey,
say,
ladies, what's going on?
Hey, not much.
not much at all, but a lot.
A lot.
Today I'm feeling I struggled. I struggled about preparing for being live tonight because we have had so much go on in our city, in our
Mhm.
country.
Yes.
And but
Yes.
in particular, I just want to take a moment to say that I'm not okay. I'm not okay tonight. And even though I'm thankful that we are all here together, that we
Mhm.
have survived, survived
Yes.
almost
Yes,
a
2020.
year of being in a pandemic. Can you all
Yeah.
believe it? And the
Yes.
senseless violence that is happening in our city, our hearts and our prayers go out to the
Mm.
recent, everyone impacted by the recent events of senseless violence in our city and our community. So our hearts are heavy. My heart is heavy
Yes.
tonight for our city and our community.
Yes,
And that's
yes,
what
it's
we're all
definitely
about.
been yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely been an emotional struggle to just try
Mhm.
to wrap your mind around some of the things that is going on and the things that
Yeah.
people have to deal with. So,
That's true.
yeah, you're right, Yolanda. I mean, we're not exactly okay because it actually has impacted all of us.
Yes, it
Yeah.
has. And just knowing
Yes,
that we're keeping
indeed.
the families in our prayers for
Yes.
sure.
Yeah. So, ladies, so how was your New Year? How was your New Year? How did y'all,
Mm.
how did y'all bring the New Year in with the
My new
pandemic at that?
My New Year was kind of quiet, but I brought it in with a glass of wine and I did a vision board.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yes,
Yeah, we need to do that. We need to work. We need to do
we can
that.
do that.
A
We can
vision
do
board.
that.
Do that live.
Mhm.
Yes. So Yolanda, so what did you do for New Year's? How did you bring it in?
Really low key, like most people, just um, bringing it in thankful and quiet,
Mhm. Mhm.
you know, just quiet with hubby.
How about you, Tina?
I was in the bed. I went to bed. I tried to watch
Hey, that's
TV.
good.
I tried to watch TV and I tried to watch some of the programs that was on for New Year's, and I actually fell asleep. And I woke back up like after New Year's, so I was like, "Oh, bummer." I'm like, I missed the whole
Mm.
thing, but people were shooting and all that, but I was just wanted to be in the bed and take cover.
Mhm.
That was the main thing. But
Yeah,
so, ladies, I'm excited about our guest today. What about you?
I
I'm
am
super excited.
so excited. And
Mhm.
it's so relevant because we know that, at the beginning of the year, people, they make goals and resolutions and things. And usually somewhere on the list is wellness, healthy
Yes.
eating,
Yeah.
losing weight, all of these types of things. And it's even more crucial now, as we're trying
Yeah.
to get healthy. So I've been on this healthy eating thing for 2 weeks now. Lots of
Yes.
encouragement from my sister. I'm
Go.
not going to say who
Yes.
it is, but we are looking at a more slim
Okay.
and gorgeous head host in Miss Tina Rogers.
Yes.
And
Yes.
she has
Thank you.
encouraged me, and I am saying I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to
Amen.
stick with it. So, and Tina, this was
Well,
an amazing vision for us to do
Yes.
this tonight.
Yes.
yeah, because I just wanted to share with our viewers that I struggled with my weight for many years and trying to figure out how to keep it down. And
Mhm.
recently last year, when my doctor told me that, hey, your AC1's going up, you could be start going toward being a pre-diabetic, and I had to get serious about my health. And it wasn't so much of the weight and looking good, although that wouldn't hurt, but I wanted to be healthy. So yeah, I got kicked probably about 4 months ago, and I was able to lose 30 pounds as of today.
Wow.
So now I want to continue
Whew.
that process
Celebrate.
and become even more. So I want to go to the next level. So this is why I'm so excited for Melba, because she's going to share so many habits and some content that we all can use just to be healthy. One
Mhm.
thing that Melba pointed out to me when I was talking to her earlier is that being healthy is not always about weight.
That's
Even
right.
people that don't have a weight issue still have to concern with being healthy, because there's
Mhm.
other things outside of weight that can affect you when you don't learn how to eat properly and nourish your body and your organs properly. So, I'm ready to get on that journey and to continue and try to encourage others as I go. We gotta catch up on,
Mhm.
how to eat and just be more healthy so our bodies can function properly.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. Well, and for our viewers, this vision um of and discussion between Tina and Melba started after Melba was one of our guests in last October of 2020. And so, without further
Yeah.
delay, Melba, she um, will be the first to share that cooking is not her jam, pun intended. She grew up in a family of gifted chefs who lovingly crafted amazing dishes from assorted culinary traditions.
Mhm.
From these gastronomic masters, she learned of a few key ingredients essential for healthy and delicious cuisine: food preparation. Aside from quality foods, Melba believes that preparation is perhaps the most important component of every dish. She explains that modern food preparation is the art of simplifying complicated techniques and maximizing output while creating dishes that promote holistic, healthy living. In short, quickly making dishes that taste great. So we are excited. Making dishes that you're going to find tonight are packed with nutrients and can be eaten over several days. Creating systems. Now, that's Melba's professional jam. She is a systems queen. And so she's going to talk to you about creating systems for sustainable, healthy living, which is indeed her jam. So, Melba, she is an accomplished educator, instructional designer, keynote speaker, and successful entrepreneur. We are so excited to have her. She is
Yes.
also the author of Wise Advising: Practical Tools for Modern School Counseling. So, she is a woman of many talents, and we're excited to have her with us tonight.
Welcome.
Welcome, Melba.
Hi, Melba.
Hi.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Pete. Hi, Ronieka. Hi, Yalonda.
Hi,
And thank you so very
Melba.
much for having me.
Yes.
This is a fun time to talk about healthy eating. Um, I appreciate what you shared, Yolanda, that most of us create New Year's resolutions to start the process of having a healthier diet, healthy living. I would challenge us to begin to think about healthy eating and healthy living in a different way, where it's not a New Year's resolution, but instead it is a lifestyle. And so I hope that some of the tips I shared tonight help some of your viewers and help you to develop some healthy living habits that will take you far. So, if I have your permission, we can get started with the first dish.
All right.
Yes, we're
Yes.
ready.
Yes, we're ready.
You're all set? Okay. So, let me share the first dish I'm going to share is a Greek salad. Now, I know most people, when they think of salads and consuming salads for healthy living, um, there's typically a ton of things that we add to our salads. Well, sometimes that makes the salads unhealthy. And so the recipe I'll share tonight, it's packed with nutrients, very easy to create. And when we speak about maximizing input, we're talking about how much time do you spend on preparing a meal and whether or not you can enjoy that meal for days to come. Food prep is one of the most significant things you can do to support your journey for healthy eating because you can spend about 30 minutes total on preparing this salad, and that includes chopping all of the vegetables, preparing the cashew sticks, and and then having it in the refrigerator and ready to go so that when it's time for your next meal, you'll be able to enjoy it and not have to labor over the stove and create a new dish. So what we're going to create today is a Greek salad, and we won't be using dairy products. We'll be creating a version that's a little bit more like a vegan Greek salad, and it's an adaptation of a salad recipe I got from an awesome cookbook called Isa Does It. So what you see me doing now is mashing some cashews. Now, how did I get to this point? So I boiled the cashews. You'll notice the consistency. I boiled the cashews just until they were able to absorb the water. And when you put it in your pan, just put your raw cashews in a pan, fill that pan a little bit above the cashews, boil it for 20 to 30 minutes, and you'll come up with whole cashews that are softened. And we want them in this consistency because we want them to absorb the products that we're going to in the other ingredients. And I'll share with you, cashews are a great addition to your diet. They're actually a seed, not a nut, even though we typically call them a nut. And they're an important addition to our diet because they're rich in so many nutrients that help our bodies to function well. So what we're going to add to this mixture of cashews or this cashew mix is we're going to add some garlic, minced garlic. You want fresh minced garlic. Some people like to use garlic powder, but I think it's a more diluted flavor and you don't want that as much. We're going to use some EVOO. That's just an abbreviation for extra virgin olive oil. And it's really important to use extra virgin olive oil because it's less refined than other olive oils. And it has a great nutrient value that helps to reduce stroke. It also helps to reduce the risk of heart disease. So for those of us out there who experienced some struggles with heart disease or have been advised that they're in stroke territory, it's one of those things that can help you to reduce those risks. So we also added some lemon juice and red wine vinegar. And then our seasoning that we're going to add is oregano. The red wine vinegar is just a fermented red wine. It's a very bold, acidic, rich flavor. It also has some health benefits in that it's packed with antioxidants. So what are antioxidants? Antioxidants help us to fight bacterial infections, even to fight skin disease. You'll notice that if you talk to any of your friends, there was a craze going around where people were using various types of vinegars to help them lose weight. Well, it can support that, and it's also delicious. So you can use it for your personal care, but also for meals. So when we combine those, all we're going to do is add those to a bowl, mix it up so you can get all those ingredients mixed together. And then you are simply going to put a lid on it, put it in the refrigerator, and let it sit overnight. Now you can, if you want to use it faster than an overnight, so if you want to use it prior to the day, make this mixture first thing in the morning.
So I actually picked up some of those bars from Melba that she was showing you guys and that she was making earlier today. So I will be tasting them. So we'll let you guys know what the taste is like. So I'm going to go ahead and dive into that. And so you guys can kind of see um, what it kind of looks like. And
The Greek salad.
The
You have
salad.
the Greek salad. Okay, Melba's back.
oh, she started with the
Melba's
green,
back.
didn't she?
Reconnected, guys.
Yes.
Melba's back.
Okay.
Okay. Technical
Okay, Melba, go ahead, jump
difficulties,
back
but we're
in.
handling it.
It's okay. You're
Okay,
good.
so once you refrigerate your Greek salad mixture, and I hope that looks as delicious to you as it does me. So this is your mixture. Now, once it's finished in the refrigerator, you let it sit for a few hours. This is what we'll add to it. We'll add some ingredients that also have, some really good health benefits. We'll add cucumbers and red onion. Just chop them. If you don't want the onion, you don't have to add it. In fact, all of the ingredients that we add to the salad, if those aren't ingredients you really enjoy, you don't have to add them. Got some chopped almonds, and we'll add some Kalamata olives. Now, what's awesome about Kalamata olives, not everyone loves olives, but there are some great health benefits. Olives have been shown to improve heart health. They also have some cancer-fighting properties. And olives are also a good source of iron, vitamin A, vitamin E, and even calcium. And then one of our superfoods that we're going to add to our salad is quinoa. Quinoa that I'm showing you now is a white quinoa. It also comes in black color and red. And so sometimes I use a mixture of quinoa just to add excitement to my dish. But the nutritional values of quinoa are what's really important. So let me share some of those nutritional values.
So I do have a sample of the Greek salad as well. So I can have a little taste of that and share that with you guys too. While Melba is working on getting back in, let me go ahead and let you guys know how the finished product tastes. I stopped by and she gave me a little sample earlier today. It's good. Really good, very flavorful, and tasty. So I think you guys are going to like it. It's simple. Got a very light vinaigrette type of dressing on it, and full of flavor. So this will be my last bite because I don't want to eat in front of y'all. So
Everything is
we'll
so
just
fresh.
kind of, let's see, I think Neville's getting back in. But hey, this is flavorful. I wanted to
We're
go
trying
ahead
to
and eat the
get
rest of the salad, but I'm not going to do that. I don't want to eat in front of y'all.
Tina.
So,
So,
Enjoy the salad,
Melba.
Tina?
oh, I tasted Melba.
Hmm.
You did. Okay. So we have this Greek salad, and I just shared with you her salad, but I want you to just take a picture of the colors in there. One of the ways we know whether or not we're eating healthy is if we have the rainbow on our plate. So you should have a variety of colors because every vegetable, seed, nut that's provided for us has some benefit to our health. So I encourage you, eat the rainbow. So if you don't like red onions, to eat white onions. If you don't like olives, add something else in there that you may enjoy in your salad. But what's great about that is it's minimal cooking. The most you have to do is boil the cashews, and then you move on to adding the other ingredients, chopping your lettuce. So that's one option for quick, and that's one of the ways in which we maximize output. How can we make meals that allow us to spend a lot of time? We do some meal prep, we invest in some storage containers, and we're able to then have healthy options. There is a weight loss company that is, you can't eat what you don't have, but when you've prepped it, you can eat those healthy options, and it's a little easier for us to do so. Another dish I'd like to share with you that actually requires absolutely no cooking at all. It's really just a process of adding some ingredients together. And that dish is flax seed and peanut butter energy bars. Now tell me a person that does more energy. I know I do. In our busy world, we're looking for something that's healthy, that tastes delicious, and gives us energy. And flaxseed is a great option for that. So this particular dish is a combination of oatmeal, peanut butter, maple syrup, and this is our peanut butter. Now I use natural peanut butter. Fewer preservatives in it. You may have to stir it to combine the peanut butter and the oils, but it's much healthier for you. And of course, oats. And then I also in these bars use nuts. Now my preference is almonds, but you can use any nut that you enjoy. And then I add a little bit of dark chocolate in there. And that's just to give me some of that sweetness that I like in my granola bars. And then to help combine it, I use a bit of milk. Now my preference is coconut milk. And if you're lactose intolerant, different plant-based milks are an option for you. Our superstar of this show is the flax seeds. Flax seeds are an excellent source of nutrients. It's an ancient superfood, and it's best when it's brown because the flax seed shell is really hard and it's very difficult for your digestive system to crack that hard shell in order for you to gain nutrients from it. One of the benefits of flax seeds is that it contains omega-3 fatty acids. It also contains calcium. And what we know flax seeds for most is that it has a really high fiber content. So those with digestive issues, you may have issues with constipation. You may have issues with your food settling in your stomach or your body extruding waste as it needs to. Well, high fiber foods are your go-to. And this is a way of introducing a high fiber ingredient without a lot of work. So all you do with these ingredients, you pulp the oatmeal in your food processor just to make a coarse flour. It should look something like that. And then we add all the ingredients together in a bowl. And you're going to press those ingredients in the pan using parchment paper. If you don't have parchment paper in your pantry, I strongly invest you to make it a staple in your pantry because you can use it for so many things. You can use this to bake and it won't burn. I reuse my parchment paper when I'm baking cookies. And so it's another way for me to save some money. And most of the things that I'm showing you today, most of the ingredients that I use them interchangeably in many dishes. That's another way we maximize output when we're doing food prep. So that you can have the same ingredients, but you make different meals with those same ingredients. So when I meal plan, another strategy, I say, you know what? I have oatmeal. I have an abundance of oatmeal. How to use that oatmeal in multiple dishes, and I can ensure that it all and allow myself to ensure that I'm using some healthy ingredients.
So, Melba, we wanted to ask you a couple things. Did we lose Melba?
Yeah, go ahead and tell us how the bars are.
Okay, well, let me tell you guys how the bars are. Started out letting you know, I tasted them. These are really good. I can taste peanut butter, I can taste the oat in it. So it's really flavorful, pretty good. For something to be nutritional for you, it's really tasty.
Okay.
So I'm trying not to eat too much in front of everybody. Since I'm the only one eating, but it is good.
I
I
like
must say
it.
that very tasteful.
Oh, good.
So
I
we don't
like
have to
what,
sacrifice.
can you all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I like what Melba was saying about the different milk
Yes,
choices that we have
Yes.
now. Like I love oat milk. I had no idea,
Yes.
but oat milk has a
okay.
really good taste when I'm trying to get away from, you know, look, we all grew up with the regular vitamin D milk, right? We have so many options now. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Hey, Melba.
She's back.
Oh, I've never had that. What is oat milk?
I
Yeah.
like it.
Is
So
Melba
I
bad?
like it.
hey, I'm hanging in there.
Okay.
Oh, you're fine.
You know, oat milk is really creamy.
Yeah, go ahead, Melba.
Yeah. So can I share? Yolanda, you were saying what you grew up with.
Mhm.
It's part of the goal in sharing this type of information is to press upon to make a generational shift in what we eat and how we eat, because
Mm.
70% of our immune system comes from our gut microbiome. And I would invite
Mhm.
you guys to look up what that means, gut microbiome. Do some research. We research different artists that we enjoy to learn about their lives. We research things we want to purchase. But we hardly ever spend time researching foods that we put in our body. And 70% of our immune system comes from our gut health. We should be paying more attention to how those foods are impacting our bodies. And when we talk about gut health, your gastrointestinal system includes many parts of your body you may not have been aware of: your mouth, esophagus, your stomach, your intestines, your salivary glands. And so all of the food that we eat impacts those parts of our life. So I would really strongly encourage everyone to think about how the foods we eat impacts our gut health, because then we can impact the significant increase in chronic disease in our community. Chronic disease is preventable. It's really a lifestyle disease because we can prevent it by eating well, getting physical activity, and avoiding toxins, um, various things that we consume, tobacco, excessive alcohol consumption. Those are toxins that impact our health. The other thing we want to consider is that the food that we eat impacts our mood. How many of us
Mhm.
realize that serotonin is a neurotransmitter that guides our emotions? And did you know that 95% of serotonin in the body is produced in your gut? So what we
Mm.
eat impacts whether or not we have higher levels of serotonin, so we can combat mood issues, mood challenges. So what you eat, the saying, you are what you eat, that is
Mm-hmm.
absolutely true. The other
Yeah.
thing I like about eating salads is lettuce contains a lot of water, and water is so good to the body. I want to share some facts that some of your viewers may not be aware of. The adult body is comprised of 60% water. Our
Mm-hmm.
brains and hearts are comprised of 73% water.
Mm.
64% of our skin contains water. 79% of our muscles and kidneys. So you see, water is an element. So a lot of people say, I really don't like water. I drink it because I have to. Well, you're right, because you have to. So if you want a tip for increasing your consumption of water, to make it flavor, make you want to drink it.
Those were such great
Okay.
points.
So
Yeah.
it seems that we've
Excellent
got
point.
this. Yeah, that was very informative. I had no idea the things that she just shared with us. That's going to help us be healthy. So
Yeah.
she's
Yeah.
bringing up some very good topics that we be aware of and start paying attention to.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and teaching the next generation. So, as the parents learn various ways to incorporate foods and meals to their children, and then we can start changing the narrative of how to be healthy, and it'll become normal. It won't
Mhm.
seem so odd or weird about some of these things, and they will
Mhm.
become part of our daily meals.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Let's see
I
what
don't know
some
if
of our
Melba's
viewers are
back or
asking.
not, but when she comes back, you just oh okay.
Yeah, we did
Let's see.
have
We can
one
answer some
question
questions
asking,
if you have
can Melba go grocery shopping
Mhm.
with her? Latanya said, can you take me grocery shopping for the right food?
that's that's what I was gonna
well,
ask.
she definitely.
Latanya, I go grocery. Absolutely. Um, I've been fortunate enough to learn a lot about how to improve health and how foods impact our bodies, and that's something I want to share with you. So, Tina has my contact information that she will share, and if you'd like to reach out, I do offer those services. I'd be happy to talk to you about your personal goals and what you do already and strengthen some of those activities, and share with you some new strategies. And I would just encourage anyone who's in Latanya's position, just take it one step at a time. Introduce one new entree that's healthier. Maybe one of the things you can do is start buying organic foods. And while organic foods sometimes are a little more expensive, you have to think in the long term, you're saving money. And ask yourself how many times you spend top dollar on some fashion accessory that's important to you. Well, if your body is important to you than those fashion accessories, you'll spend a couple of more dollars on an organic. It will also help you eat a little bit less because when we spend more money on food, we typically eat smaller portions because it's more expensive. Well, I count that as a win. So try that instance. And so if you don't me, just try to replace one thing in your diet with a healthier option. For instance, something really simple like nuts. I do like when I make my flaxseed bar, I place them in little bags so that I can have ready-made snacks. So that when I know that I can't have a meal immediately, I have a healthy snack option and it's right there with me. Hunger pains won't cause me to make a really poor choice in eating something that's not good for me. And these little bags come in various sizes. You can get, various stores, Hobby Lobby, Walmart, those sorts of places. But I encourage you just to start with one step. And if you have a made up mind that you are ready to change your eating habits and ready to focus on looking at your diet, not in weight loss terms, but a diet in terms of the sum of the foods we consume, that healthy living is all about. So if you have a made up mind, I'd be happy to offer you services to help you create a plan that's viable for you, even if it's grocery shopping, Latanya.
That's
Great.
good.
That's
So,
great.
Melba, I think you kind of answered this question, but what do you mean by healthy living? What is healthy living when you say that?
So I'm referring to a balance in the foods we consume, that you are making wise choices consistently over time. Um, it has to be a lifestyle and not just something you, when you make this resolution or when you have a goal weight that you want to
Yeah.
achieve. If it's a lifestyle and you make small changes over time, you can maintain that healthy food consumption and
Okay.
add to it physical fitness. And that's what healthy living is all about.
Okay.
Right. I agree.
You
Definitely.
also,
It takes more than one area.
Melba, you also mentioned
I'm sorry, say that again.
you were explaining the importance of water. So what's the overall importance of water when it comes to a healthy diet?
So water is such an essential element in who we are. So much of our body is made up of water. So it's really not an option of whether or not we like water, consume it. It's about whether or not we want a healthy body. One of the things I suggest that we do, shared a lot of statistics about the amount of water that our body, different parts of our body is made up of, our brain, our kidneys, our skin, our muscles, all of those parts of our body are made up of water. So when that water is depleted, you can replace it. You know what? When you start to have aches and pains, one of the first things I do is ask myself, how much water have I consumed today? Now, I love water, and which I encourage others to increase their water intake is to try things like doing fruit infused water. All this is water that I put frozen strawberries, and I let the strawberries sit until all of the nutrients and the flavor from the strawberry is infused in the water, and then I enjoy it. In fact, one of the reasons I use this bottle is because when I'm sitting down watching television, this bottle is sitting right next to me, so that it's a reminder and I'm intentional in my efforts to increase my water intake. When I sit at my desk in my office, I have bottles like this. I actually have like 8 bottles of water that I fill on a weekly basis, and that's how I ensure that I'm very intentional in increasing my water intake. And it's quite delicious.
That's great.
Yeah, I'm one of those flavored water as well. I like the lemon flavored water. So, well, Melba, this has been very informative. I'm quite sure that even whoever watched it live and whoever's gonna get to go back and watch the replay, we will post the ingredients and the preparation for the Greek salad and flaxseed bars. They will be posted in the She Became Me page. You guys will be able to get additional information from there. Anybody that wants to reach out to Melba with any other services she may provide, her information as well. So we want to move to the part of our show. I'm sorry, go ahead, Yalonda.
Oh no, I was just saying that this was great, and I know Tina, as you get ready to pull a female question out.
Yeah.
Melba had she was talking about, we were talking about generations and how we have, and picked up and inherited habits, and so I think that's something important
Yeah.
for, us to think about, as we talk about wellness in this segment and future segments. But Melba said something very interesting about this being a legacy movement. And as we move to Shemale, can you
Okay.
just tell us more about that, Melba?
Yeah, so we referenced, I can't remember if it was you, Yolanda, or Ronieka or Tina that referenced what we grew up on. You know, oftentimes our parents and their parents didn't really have a lot of options about what they ate. They had to take what they could afford, or the pickings that were left over. Well, we live in a time where we have many other options. So I just encourage everyone to stop and think about information, the habits, the foods that you're passing down to the next generation. Those people in your life, whether they're your children, your grandchildren, your nieces or nephews, but think about what we're passing down to them. And to remember that a lot of what we consume impacts so much of our lives, our general health, our moods, our brain health. And if we really want to make some generational shifts, we can do this right in our own homes. We can do things that we have control over. We can do our own research and create new systems that not only work well for us, but as a legacy, we're passing these skills and this information down to the next generation.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thanks, Melba. Melba, that was great. Well, Melba, we have a part of the show, and it's called She, and we have a mailbox, and we have guests, they email in questions that they want our opinions on. And of course, we have a disclaimer that says, we're not professional therapists, but we will give our personal opinion about some of the questions that our viewers are sending. So I'm going to pull one out and let's see what the first one is. And Melba, if you can, we're going to ask you to, give an opinion on it as well. So the first one is, why do you think people are afraid of change? Why do you think people are afraid of change? So ladies, go ahead. Whoever want to take a stab at that, jump right in. Why do you think people are afraid of change?
I think that people are afraid of change because, a lot of times we get comfortable in where we are. And then a lot of times, people are not really sure like where they are in life or willing to admit where they are in life. And until you're able to determine that, then change is kind of like fearful because you don't even know where that change will take you to. So I think that a lot of times it has to do with like, fear,
Yeah,
being in a comfort zone.
yeah, yeah, definitely. You want to
Yeah, I would agree with
comment
that.
on that?
And I would share that change requires um, change requires self-reflection and self-assessment. And there's nothing scarier than looking at deficiencies in self and not really knowing oftentimes which direction to go. So I think, as Ronieka said, we're fearful of doing that self-assessment and then fearful of, well, what direction do I take once I recognize change is required? So I think that those are my reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead, Yalonda. You was going to comment on that.
No, I agree with both comments. I think number one, change is hard, and you got to put in work sometimes, and that's whether it is, regardless of what type of change it is. And I think people are resistant to, sometimes, not always. Some people are resistant to the work required to adapt, and they don't. And some people are
Yeah,
just comfortable with, being complacent and comfortable with mediocrity. So
yeah, yeah. I think that a lot of times people are afraid of making a mistake. So when you got to learn something new, you don't have the confidence of how well you can do it, or if you might make a mistake or not. So I think if people become comfortable, okay with just making a mistake, is not the end of the world, especially if it's not something that's going to be life threatening. So, becoming comfortable with making a mistake and learning from your mistakes. And as we can become comfortable with that, I think we will be more accepting. And once again, that's just being fearful as well, of making a mistake and not wanting to deal with that. So um, let's try them. Okay.
Janelle.
Gmail.
Okay, so this one is okay, this one's pretty deep. I have gained weight and I do not feel desirable by my spouse anymore. How do I regain my confidence? How do I regain my confidence? I have gained weight. I do not feel desirable by my spouse anymore. How do I regain confidence? Man,
Hmm.
now
That's a good. That's a.
that one,
That's really good. And I think that's a common, a lot of women go through that. And I say, a lot of times we do things for our significant others, for our spouses, but I think that it's just time to start doing for yourself first. And so I think that um, when we set a goal to do things that make us feel good about ourselves first, and I think that attention that we seek from our spouses will come like secondary. But I think the first step is to make up in our minds that what we're doing as far as like for our health and our body, for our spirituality, all of those things should be done number one first for us first. And then once we start working on ourselves and we regain our confidence and we get our sexy back, and then we'll start receiving the compliments and the desires and things from our spouses as well. But it has to start with us first.
Yeah, I agree with that. This is, is a self-confidence, and this is whether it does begin with us. And so from my own experiences, and I've been small, I've been plus size as I am now. Uh, I have, the thing is that no matter what size I am, and it's like a joke with, I laugh with my husband about it because, he has seen me literally all sizes, gaining weight, losing weight, struggling with my weight, being disciplined, not being disciplined. And, you know, I still try to always look my best, and find things that complement my body type, no matter what size I am. And that is one way, because some people gain weight and then they feel like they can't do anything with themselves, and because they don't feel good about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I think one step is to go shopping, and it doesn't mean expensive. It just means going and finding things or seeking help from friends or people that care about you to say, okay, does this look good on me? What color do you think I look best in? Put makeup on, do your hair, get jewelry and accessories. I think accessories make everything better anyway.
Yeah,
Regardless of what
definitely.
size, that's how you start to, in my opinion, regain your confidence, but also involve your spouse in that journey, because nothing is more sexy than getting your sexy back together, and so that's just one idea. I saw something came up on Facebook. There's some type of spousal or partner workout thing going on.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
like it's sexy or something, but
Yes.
where the couples working out together. It always pops up on my Facebook.
Oh
But
yeah,
I'm like, they really had something there because it's sensual and you're getting fit at the same time. So just
yeah,
some things to think about.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yes.
Melba, you want to comment on that, Melba?
I say very briefly, I agree with you both. And I would say also give yourself a break. No one is at 100% all the time. Sometimes we function at 75% of our best. Sometimes it's 50% of our best.
Mm-hmm.
So allow yourself some space to not be your absolute best all the time. And
That's
your
right.
spouse, I'm sure he loves you, she loves you. So it's okay. They recognize that we go through these roller coaster moments in life. And the thing I would echo that Yalonda said is one thing we do to build inner confidence is to know that we're working towards better. So create a plan for how you're going to shift from where you are in that unhappy state to where you'd like to be. And sometimes that creates this trigger that helps us to feel better because I'm not where I want to be, but I know I'm working towards it. So that can do so much for our mood and for our confidence. So I would agree with what both of you shared as well.
Yeah, good. No, very good. I agree with you guys as well. And what I would call it is creating a dual plan. And that dual plan would be finding ways to feel good about yourself in this moment. And it would, just, remind yourself of your other assets, like some other qualities that you have, just kind of um, reframe those things and reiterate some of those things for this moment, and then create a plan of how you want to get to where you want to be. So kind of like you said, Melba, is make a plan, kind of like Yolanda Ronieka said, and then just love yourself in this moment with a plan. So that's kind of just having a dual plan working at the same time. So
Mhm.
I know it's
Really good.
I know it's easier said than done, but
Hmm.
at least if you have the idea, you got to start somewhere. Then you just start the practice. You got the idea, and now you got to practice it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good,
Right.
ladies. I think we could do another one. Let's see what we got. Uh see. Okay. Well, this is kind of relevant to what's happening today. How do you make peace with family or friends who doesn't agree with your political choices? How do you make peace with family or friends who doesn't agree with your political choices?
Hmm.
I say you first.
Uh, I say just don't. I just say don't talk about it. I just say don't talk about it with people if it's that emotional. I just say skip it. And if someone doesn't want to talk to you based on your political choices, you just have to just offer when you're ready. I'm here, but we could talk about everything else, and we agree to disagree, and just not talk about that thing. I mean, that's all I can say about it. It would be something we take off. We would never discuss if it's that emotional.
Hmm.
Yeah. I think this applies
I would echo that.
Anybody
any
else?
point, right?
It's very difficult to have. Go ahead,
Go ahead,
ladies.
Melvin. No, go ahead.
Okay. It's difficult to have very challenging discussions when you're emotional. So if you're going to discuss, I would encourage you to discuss it at a time where emotions aren't so high, when you can think clearly. Because when we're emotional, our prefrontal cortex moves into this fight, flight, or freeze mode, where it's our brains process it as danger, and so we react to protect ourselves. So try to choose a time to discuss those really charging um, discussions when you're not so emotional. And then part of it depends on the relationship with that family member. Have you established a history of having civil discourse? You have not, that may be your first approach. Understanding the emotion behind that response, perhaps the past or background things that have led you to feel the way you feel. But if you've not established an opportunity or a method of having civil discourse, it'll be very difficult to have that discussion. And the last point I'll share is that one of the ways in which we grow is through having conversations about, really hard stuff. And
Hmm.
if you can't ever entertain multiple perspectives, you remain stagnant. You don't grow, you don't learn. And none of us are better from not learning from one another. None of us are better from shutting down someone else's truth. So I would encourage you to first focus on the relationship and building systems where you can have civil discourse, really difficult, complicated discussion.
That's really
Amen.
good.
That was good.
Good.
Yeah. Excellent. Ditto.
Yeah.
Ditto, ditto, ditto. Well, Tina, I
So,
think we did. What do you have a comment about
okay.
this one?
No, I was just gonna say that we was gonna probably wrap it up, and just I want to just thank Melba again for
Yes.
sharing all that healthy cooking habits. And you already know I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna hit you up and let you give me a cooking plan. and to get me level, because that's my interest. So again, I'm gonna just say thank you, thank you, thank you, and I look forward to working with you on my next level of the.
Yes.
Yes, we have had
Yes.
some
So, ladies,
live viewers stay on with us the entire time. We've gone longer, and it's been great.
Yes. It's been a great show.
So we thank everyone for hanging with us and through
Thank
our
you so much for
so
having
technical
me.
difficulties and being live.
yes.
Yes.
So,
Melba, go ahead and close us out.
okay,
Guys, I appreciate the opportunity.
go ahead, Melba.
Okay, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity to share. I invite those who are interested in furthering this discussion and perhaps partnering in establishing a lifestyle of healthy living to reach out to one of your me. But the most important thing is just to establish that made up mind that you're going to take that next step for holistic, healthy eating for yourself and for those that you love. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
You're
Nice.
welcome. Thanks. So this is the time where we will say, we'll see you next time.
See you
Bye.
next time. Bye.
Bye.